Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday morning. It's 10 o'clock, and I'm Connie Myers. So this must be to 70 and beyond. And this week is a big, big, big celebration for me. You see, 5 years ago this week, my book, Crystalline Moments, came out. And crystalline moments, so for those of you that don't know, crystalline means sparkly or clear. So crystalline moments are moments of clarity. And the difference between a crystalline moment and an aha moment is that aha is just a thought process. Crystalline moments are moments that actually are thoughts or events that are guiding us into the direction we're supposed to be going with our life. So this book has turned out to be a very, very special book. Right after when I decided to do my very first vision, I decided that I wanted to write a book. I had no idea what kind of book I wanted to write, but it was a crystalline moment that created crystalline moments. 5 years ago, I envisioned writing this book and having it change people's lives. And I can tell you that it is being read all around the world. This is the second edition. I'm actually going to, later this year, I'm going to have the audio version of the book come out. I'm going to make a few additional changes to the book. So it'll be the third edition of Crystalline Moments. And I want you to know that crystalline moments are the secret to your vision. Now, my mentor, her name is Mary Morrissey, and she is actually in my book. It's a series of stories about how people found their gift and opportunity, because you see, in every crystalline moment, there is a gift or an opportunity. And when my husband passed away, and you've heard me say this over and over again, the greatest gift he ever gave me was in his passing. I would not be doing what I'm doing today. Crystalline Moments wouldn't exist. My classes wouldn't exist. All of you I wouldn't know, because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. But his passing forced me to take a look at what my vision was and my purpose for my life. So January being a very good month for us to take a look at our visions and take a look at where we are. I just want to tell you a little story about Mary Morrissey, because I met her when she had the Living Enrichment Center it was in Wilsonville, Oregon, right outside of Portland. And the church was in a 90,000 square foot building. But she started out, and I'm just going to read you a couple pages from this. They didn't really have anything. She had children, and she was married. She had her master's degree in counseling psychology and an honorary doctorate in human letters. Her academic work included studying the universal laws for many years, and she wanted to teach others. So she convinced her husband and her family to put all their stuff in storage. They paid off their car, including other debts, and bought everything they needed to give themselves the freedom to travel for a year. Her husband purchased window washing equipment so he could earn extra money should they need it along their travels. They started out their trip with $300 in their pocket and stepped out in faith. You know, when we're stepping into our vision, we're always doing it in faith, that everything would work. The trip turned out to be as much about Mary learning how to create abundance as much as it was about teaching others. At one point, they were down to $3, and in a low-income, high-crime area of Florida, there weren't a lot of people wanting their windows washed. At first, she said, okay, I could call family and ask them to send some money, but then realized that somehow she was out of alignment with her law of abundance. Once she was able to align herself with that revelation that she was giving of her time and teaching, but not her money, she decided she needed to start tithing. So in order for her to get the money and the things that she needed, she realized that she needed to put out money. From the $3 they had, she gave 30 cents to a small church in Florida. Moving forward, their opportunities continued to grow, and with the help of her husband's small window washing business, they were able to continue traveling for the remainder of the year. From the humble beginning, her following continued to grow, and they returned to Oregon a year later and started the Living Enrichment Center. The Living Enrichment Center was just an amazing facility. They had all kinds of course programs and things that she did. Her friends are people like Bob Proctor and Deepak Chopra and Wayne Dyer. She actually worked with the Dalai Lama and Nelson Mandela through the United Nations. She was the president of the I think it was, what was it called? I think it was called the Peace Initiative through the United Nations. And she had a crisis that happened. She had gotten divorced and she was remarried, and she was gone. She was traveling a lot because of her position with the Peace Initiative. And she came home because her father was ill, and she found out, she started opening letters, and she found out that her husband was misappropriating funds by opening up a bunch of letters that were coming in the mail to their home. And she says, it led me down a path where I needed to have the man I had been married to placed in a mental institution, and ultimately he would go to prison. In her crystalline moment is defined behind the thought of, I don't know how I'm going to survive this, as a trained observer. And that's what I really want to talk about today. Are you a trained observer? Because if you don't notice your crystalline moments, if you don't pay attention to the clues and the gifts and things that are being handed to you each and every day, then you're going to miss the most important part of your life. So she says, I don't know how I'm going to survive this. As a trained observer, Mary chose the decision to survive when, after thorough investigation, officials brought charges of financial commingling against her husband. He spent a year in a mental hospital and a year in a prison, a sad testament to the power of mental illness misdiagnosis. We all need to be, she says, we all need to be trained observers. And what does she mean by that? Her definition is, a trained observer possesses the ability to see and be aware of the differences between and among various things, situations, people, and forms of any kind. It is the ability to notice the obvious, which is not always obvious to everyone else. In other words, notice what you're noticing. So in order, I mean, this is the month to create our visions, our vision boards, to step into our vision. And in order to do that, we have to be a trained observer. And in every day, you have crystalline moments, and they are directing you in the direction you're supposed to be going. You just need to be a trained observer to be able to find the direction. So I want you to spend this week really thinking about your vision. I'm going to be celebrating the anniversary of this book by doing a wonderful, fun workshop. It's called Vision and Wine. It's going to be held at the Urban Press Winery in Burbank, California. So all of you Southern Cal friends of mine, please, I'm going to post a link to it. I would love to have you come. We're not only going to just write our visions and listen to our vision, we're going to create vision boards with a very unique twist to them. And we also are going to step into our vision, because it's not just enough to write the vision. You have to become the vision. As a matter of fact, you can't go to your vision. You must come from it. In order to become from it, you must become it. So you must already step into it. It's already happened. So for me, it is, I don't know the date today, it is the 18th. So it's January 18th, 2021, next year. And this is what has happened in my life. I have completed, and it's a huge success, my disaster leadership and management course and my movement that I'm creating for helping people before, during, and after disasters. My Crystalline Voices, Real Estate Women in Leadership, has been a huge success. And I've highlighted all the important things that I've brought many of the leaders that are in the book to light the way they got through their journey and how they succeeded. And almost all of them talk about the vision that they have stepped into. So this week, it's really important that you take the time. Pick a date, a year from now, 2 years from now, 6 months from now, a month from now, whatever that date is, and write out what your vision is. If you come to the Vision and Wine, which, by the way, we'll be celebrating our visions with a little bit of wine and appetizers after we've done them. We'll be stepping into the visions. I'm also going to help you create the very most important meditation you can have. And that is your personal vision meditation. So I hope, if you're in California, or even if you're not, if you'd like to come to California, I would love to have you join me. I'll post the flyer and all the information. It is on my event page, on my Facebook page as well. So this week for me, it is celebrating. This was a huge vision for me. I always wanted to write a book. And I'm sitting in another vision of mine, my she shed. My she shed I had it completely designed before I even knew what kind of building it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be a greenhouse. I thought it was going to be like a tough shed or something like that. But I love my she shed. And the visions just keep growing. The crystalline moments guide you onto how that vision is going to happen. So I've also got a special offer on the book for the next month where I reduced the price by $5 and it's free shipping. So if you're interested in having the book, let me know. Anyway, I hope you have a beautiful crystalline moment filled week with that vision and knowing what it looks like at the end of the year or whatever your time frame is. And remember, in every single crystalline moment, there is a gift and an opportunity. It's your responsibility to find out what that is. Thank you, and I hope you have an absolutely beautiful week. And I hope I'll see you in Burbank on February 1st. It's from 12 to 4. I'll post down below. Bye now.